1:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Mario Vijayawardena. The headlines. The President directs officials to find solutions to the issues faced by the rural people. The health authorities are looking at fresh strategies to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. Police put in place a special quarantine surveillance program. The United National Party alleges that the lack of a clear direction of the government resulted in the new COVID-19 strain entering the country. Regional plantation companies submit a final proposal towards ensuring a sustainable earnings model for the sector. In foreign news, the Centre for Disease Control warns the UK COVID variant could drive rapid growth in US cases. In sports cricket, the first test between Sri Lanka and England is underway in Galle. The sixth phase of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's Gama Samaga Pilisandara program is taking place at the Vedikachiya Grama Nidadari Division in Madaragiriya, Polonnaruwa today. It is being held at the Bisopura Mahavali Primary School. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, several ministers, state officials and people in the area are taking part in the program. During the program, the President directed the Wildlife and Forest Conservation Department officials to permit cultivations in lands traditionally cultivated by the farming communities in the area. He instructed officials to take speedy steps to prevent wild animals storming villages and destroying crops. He further instructed officials to take action to provide solutions to the drinking water problem in the Valikanda and the Bulagala areas by implementing the Polonnaruwa East Irrigation Project. The President said that the policy of the government is to provide facilities to people in remote areas. This program was conducted in 5 villages earlier. The President wants to talk to the rural people about their long-standing unresolved issues, present them to the officials and provide speedy solutions by presenting them. Another objective is to meet the people living in the most difficult villages of the country and identify their problems accurately. Following the discovery of COVID-19 patients from a large geographical area of the country, the health authorities are looking at fresh strategies to contain the pandemic. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemantha Herath said, though there were no large COVID-19 clusters like the ones that originated from the Minuwangada apparel factory and the Paliagoda fish market, daily identified cases were from a wider geographical area. Dr. Herath said all the institutions involved in the control of the disease would have a meeting today to explore new measures to stop the trend. The police have put in place a special surveillance program in premises that house people under quarantine since it was reported that some who have been ordered to follow mandatory home quarantine processes have left the premises without obtaining permission. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that a total number of 116,000 persons have been ordered to undergo self-quarantine processes as of today, and 36,000 of them are from the Gampaha district. He said the police will launch a special operation from today in order to conduct surveillance on the occupants of the houses to which the quarantine orders have been issued. The United National Party has alleged that the lack of accountability and clear direction of the government has resulted in the new strain of the COVID-19 virus entering Sri Lanka. This allegation was made in an official statement issued by the party yesterday. It has pointed out that the cabinet ministers have stated that the airport will be reopened on the 21st of January. However, there has been no clear plan presented to the public as to who will be allowed to enter the country and what quarantine procedures they will undergo. The UNP said the government's lack of direction in this matter has resulted in the health and safety of the public being placed at risk. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. In a meeting between the Minister of Labour Nimal Siripal De Silva and the chairman of all the Sri Lankan regional plantation companies, a final proposal has been submitted towards ensuring a sustainable earnings model for the sector. The proposal submitted yesterday takes into consideration the sustainability of both the industry and livelihoods of plantation workers. Under the final proposal, regional plantation companies are offering a fixed daily wage of 1,105 rupees with the reintroduction of attendance and productivity incentives, which trade unions had strongly and consistently opposed in the past, but have since reversed their position in the most recent negotiations. Regional plantation companies also propose the implementation of productivity-linked earning components to ensure that workers are finally provided effective incentives and are rewarded for increasing their productivity. Consultant Dr. Deepa Gamage of the Epidemiology Unit of the Health Ministry says that measures have been taken to control the spread of the coronavirus while maintaining normal activities in the country. She told the SLBC that the government has paid its attention to expedite the vaccination program against the virus. Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Sudha Dharmaratna said that the number of PCR tests conducted daily has been increased. The police said 2 men arrived in a motorcycle wearing full-face helmets and had robbed 40 million rupees in cash and jewellery from a financial institution in Gampaha yesterday. Police spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that the Gampaha police are conducting investigations into the incident and that 5 police teams were deployed. He urged owners and officials of these institutions to take precautionary measures to prevent such incidents. That's local news.
Knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Vidya Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya.
The National Operations Centre to Prevent the Spread of COVID-19 says that 695 infected persons were found yesterday. 8 of them have returned from overseas. 4 foreigners who arrived from abroad have also been detected to be infected with the virus. Others have been found in the country. The highest number of patients have been reported from the Gampaha district, which is 168. The centre said that 6,536 are undergoing quarantine at 80 centres maintained by the armed forces. 15,146 PCR tests have been conducted yesterday.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vidya Mahatmya. Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, bus passengers who arrive from Colombo to Kandy around 7 p.m. undergo many difficulties since they are unable to continue their journey from Kandy to other parts after 6:45 p.m. The passengers who travel to Mahianganea suffer the most. They said that the direct bus from Colombo to Bibile via Mahianganea does not operate now and that they cannot stay even at residences of their relatives or friends in Kandy because of the COVID-19 pandemic. They said the police too do not allow them to stay at the bus stand overnight. This is for the attention of the transport authorities.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in world news headlines, the Centers for Disease Control warns UK COVID variant could drive rapid growth in US cases. Aftershock rocks Indonesia quake zone as search continues. American Robotics gets the US Federal Aviation Administration permission to fly fully automated drones. Health officials have said a highly contagious coronavirus variant first detected in the UK could become the dominant strain in the US by March. The Centre for Disease Control and Prevention warned of rapid growth of the variant in coming weeks. It said such a spike could further threaten health system already strained by a winter COVID surge. Several EU countries are receiving significantly fewer doses of the Pfizer coronavirus vaccine than expected after the US firm slowed shipments. 6 nations called the situation unacceptable and warned it decreases the credibility of the vaccination process. Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Lithuania, Latvia and Estonia urged the EU to apply pressure on Pfizer-BioNTech. Pfizer said the reduced deliveries were a temporary issue. An aftershock hit Indonesia's Sulawesi island today as rescue workers searched for people trapped under rubble after an earthquake killed at least 45 people, injured hundreds, and sent thousands fleeing in terror. Indonesia's disaster mitigation agency said no damage or casualties were reported from the magnitude 5 aftershock in the West Sulawesi districts of Mamuju and Majene a day after the magnitude 6.2 earthquake. The U.S. Federal Aviation Administration granted Massachusetts-based American Robotics permission to operate automated drones. The decision limits operations to areas with light air traffic and daylight visibility and requires the drone not to exceed altitudes of 400 feet. The agency said American Robotics operations will provide it with critical data for use in evaluating beyond visual line of sight from off-site locations. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. The Centres for Disease Control warns UK COVID variant could drive rapid growth in US cases. Aftershock rocks Indonesia, quake zone as surge continues. American Robotics gets the US Federal Aviation Administration permission to fly fully automated drones. That was World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, the National Election Commission has proposed to amend the election law to provide for advance voting for several categories of voters. The chairman of the commission, Nimal Puncheheva, said the commission proposes an amendment to the Parliament Elections Act of 1981 to enable advance voting. He said once the act is amended, those provisions can also be applied to the provincial council and local government elections. That was development news. And now in sports news. Today is the third day of the first test between Sri Lanka and England in Galle. Sri Lanka were all out for 135 in their first innings. In reply, England was all out for 421 in their first innings. Joe Root 228. The fourth test of the India Tour of Australia is underway in Brisbane for the second day today. Australia scored 369 in their first innings. India was 62 for 2 wickets when the match was delayed by a wet outfield. In boxing, Briton Dillian White will have the chance to get his revenge against Alexander Povetkin as Matchroom Boxing confirmed their rematch for 6th of March. The Russian produced a stunning knockout win in the fifth round of the WC interim title bout in August. White was originally set to meet Povetkin for a second time in late November 2020 at Wembley Arena. However, the fight was postponed after the veteran Russian tested positive for COVID-19. In football news, 11 people, including the former president of the Flamengo Soccer Club, were formally charged on Friday in connection with the death of 10 teenage footballers in a 2019 fire. The boys aged between 14 and 16 were killed on the 8th of February 2019 when a nighttime blaze swept through the Flamengo training centre on the outskirts of Rio de Janeiro. 3 others were seriously injured. That was sports news. And now in business news, Brilliant Cuts Private Limited managing directress Vindhya Pereira, together with her mother and the director of the company, Malini Polgampola, has been successful in bringing local roots in the Sri Lankan gem and jewellery industry into the limelight. As a result of Vindhya's work with Brilliant Cuts, she was awarded the Women Entrepreneur Non-Traditional Business Award Gold at the Sabaragama Province Best Entrepreneur of the Year 2020. Sri Lankan Airlines has been awarded the Platinum Standard status by Apex Health Safety powered by Simply Flying following a full independent audit for efforts in ensuring the highest standards for passenger safety and well-being during air travel post-COVID-19. This status recognizes airlines that go above and beyond minimum standards required to rebuild traveler confidence and confirms commitment to the safety of both passengers and staff. That was business news.
Economic News, courtesy of
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge.
LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
The Sri Lanka Chamber of Small and Medium Industries yesterday welcomed the initiative of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa in appointing an 18-member deregulation commission for the simplification of the existing laws and regulations in the interests of the people. Chamber President Professor Rohan De Silva said that it is the right time that such a task is carried out as most laws and regulations need changes. According to the latest external trade data released by the central bank, the country's trade deficit narrowed in November 2020 by $198 million to $565 million from $762 million recorded in November 2019 due to a larger decline in imports compared to the decline in exports. Amidst a decline in earnings from exports, a number of positive developments were observed in the external sector in November 2020, including a lower trade deficit and a notable increase in workers' remittances.
Congratulations on your promotion. Heard you gave a treat for everyone in your department yesterday.
Yeah,
When will be our treat, huh?
Well, how about today?
Oh no, I was just joking. We'll have a party with your new salary.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Those who spread goodness radiate happiness to everyone around them. Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur today in the northern, north central, eastern and Uva provinces and in the Mathile and Hambantota districts. Showers and thundershowers will occur at several places elsewhere in the afternoon. Fairly heavy falls above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in the western Sabaragamuwa and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Gala and Mathura districts. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President directs officials to find solutions to the issues faced by the rural people. The health authorities are looking at fresh strategies to contain the COVID-19 pandemic. The police put in place a special quarantine surveillance program. The United National Party alleges that the lack of a clear direction of the government resulted in the new COVID-19 strain entering the country. Regional plantation companies submit a final proposal towards ensuring a sustainable earnings model for the sector. In foreign news, the Centre for Disease Control warns the UK COVID variant could drive rapid growth in US cases. In sports, in cricket, the first test between Sri Lanka and England is underway in Galle.